What's up, everybody? Going live today for a Miami Heat Roundtable episode. Testing it out for the first time, doing it live versus pre-recorded. We got Martel with us right now. We got Trent. Give it a few minutes, see if anybody hops on.
Okay, perfect. It's showing you're live.
Yo.
What are we talking about, Trent? What Miami Heat topics do we got?
Man, Khalil Weir looks like a superstar, dog.
Khalil Ware is a superstar. I don't know what you're talking about. He doesn't look like one. He's gonna start next to Bam. He's gonna average a double-double. Hey, what he looks good, dude. Miami Heat 3-0 Summer League. Even though I don't really care about Summer League too much, but still, it's good to see that Khalil is playing well and playing like he's the steal right now at this point. At number 15, he looks like one of the best big men from this draft. Looking better than Sarr so far, right?
He'll have a better career than Tyler.
I mean, that's not saying a lot, is it? So yeah, what are your thoughts, Trent, on Khalil though? For real,
he's everything we needed because we've been talking about size and length and somebody that can space the floor, and that's what Khalil Weir brings. And so, obviously, there were some motor issues, and there's still a lot of stuff that he needs to fix. But overall, his talent's there, and the potential's there. And so we have one of the best scouting and development program for all these players that we draft, and they always turned out pretty well when they actually play. So we should definitely be excited for Weir.
Yeah, Martel, what do you think about Khalil so far this summer league? He's played 3 games, I believe. Had 2 really big games. So, what are your thoughts?
I mean, as long as he can put on the size, which is going to be huge, but bro, he's catching all the lobs, he's blocking shots, he's deterring shots. That's exactly what the Miami Heat need. You know, we've needed that athleticism, the rebounding, the size, the shot blocking. And as you can see with Bam Adebayo with the Olympics, he's free to do whatever he wants to do because he has real NBA talent around him. Now, of course, he won't have, a bunch of all-time NBA players around him, but just so that he's not so focused on guarding the other big, rebounding, defending 1 through 5, shot blocking, trying to do everything. We have a guy now, which I don't think he's necessarily going to be ready game 1. Like I said, it's really going to come down from now until training camp. Does he look good? Yeah. But right now, he's pretty much bullying everybody on that level. I want to see him against real NBA talent versus all these other bigs who have some years under their belt so that he can, kind of mature and see what he can do.
Yeah, it's a different game. I mean, the speed of a real NBA game compared to a summer league game, the talent level is head and shoulders above the summer league, right? You saw Jaime Jaquez play in 2 of the Miami Heat's first 3 games. He is a second-year player and was 3rd in the Rookie of the Year voting. He was first All-NBA rookie team, so he was obviously a top-tier rookie. You saw what he did against these non-NBA folks, basically, and he showed out and balled up. So seeing Khalil do that, though, is like that's what he's supposed to do, right? Like if he was actually going to be a top player in this draft and he's playing against guys that are undersized, there's not that many 7-footers that are in summer league right now. So it's good to see him taking advantage, to your point, Martel, that you said, using his size right now, because he didn't do that the first game in the Summer Classic in San Francisco, the game I went to, his worst game of the summer league, basically. He wasn't taking advantage of his size, and he was shooting a little more threes and just taking more jump shots. But you could see he's playing in the post, he's backing guys down, he's shooting over the top, like Porzingis does. You saw what Porzingis did when Haywood Highsmith and Caleb Martin, and even Bam. Like Bam is still way shorter than Porzingis. You see that kind of mid-range where you could just like rise up, and it's tough to block him. He has a 7'5" or no 7. What was it? 7'9" wingspan. He's 7 foot 7'9" wingspan. Something insane. So I like how Trent mentioned. I think Trent mentioned this yesterday. Is kind of like a Wemby light, or was that you, Martel? I think that was you. No,
I think it was Trent, but
I think it
it's
was
like,
Trent.
like it's like what you said. I want to see him bully people. I want to see him box out people, dunk on people, block shots. Like we haven't had that since Hassan Whiteside, which is crazy to me. I mean, because like I said, Bam, he can only do so much. And us running him into the ground by game 40, 50, 60 is absolutely ridiculous. We need a guy that's going to be able to bully guys. And I think as long as he's able to put on that size and there's no motor questions, which I really don't think there will be. I know that there's a lot of people that said that there's been some pockets throughout the game where he just wasn't running, but no, he could run the floor, he could shoot the three, he could block shots, he could do a little bit of everything with that size. Because one thing is you can't teach people to be big. There's some people that are in the NBA, yeah, they're big, but you have to teach them to be big. You don't have to teach it with him. He catches everything. Every lob you throw up, he catches.
I also don't mind in the summer league if he does for some reason take a playoff to a certain degree. It's not the regular season. He's not an undrafted. He's our first round pick. He has a guaranteed contract. So I'm okay with that. Like if it happens like for periods of time, like in a quarter at any point, that's not good. But if it's like one possession here and there in the summer league, who cares? These games don't count. In the regular season, then there's a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every game counts. And we know that with the Miami Heat because with one extra win, that could potentially put you out of the play-in, right? Like we messed around too many times. It wasn't like the year before where we had all those clutch games, but we were actually coming out ahead. But we didn't really lose to like the Spurs and the Wizards like we did the year before, but we still had some pretty bad losses in there. I mean, we did lose to a Detroit. We did lose to a Memphis without John Morant, without Desmond Bain, without everybody, without Marcus Smart. They just had Triple J basically, right? So yeah, I mean, I'm okay with him so far. Like, let's just see what he can do and see if it translates on an NBA court. And I'm actually impressed because I'm hoping now he cracks the rotation as one of our top 10. I mean, we'll see like how many minutes Thomas Bryant's going to get ahead of him or behind him, and Kevin Love. Is he going to play at the center or is he going to back up whoever's starting? Is it Jovic starting? Is it Haywood starting at the 4? Yeah, I don't know. Trent, what do you think about Bam? Happy birthday, Bam! Right? I think he just turned 27 today. It's actually my brother's birthday too, so I'm glad I remember that. Seeing Bam's birthday made me remember that they're the same birthday. But yeah, Mr. Team USA, man. Does it seem like to you guys that based on his success so far in these exhibition games, and Eric Spoelstra obviously being on the team USA as a coach, do you think this is opening up Spo's eyes and saying, hey, I think we need to put Bam back at his natural position? We see him hitting threes, spreading the floor, facilitating, playmaking. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Trent, do you have any opinion? Do you think Bam will be a 4 next year?
Nah, Spo is hard headed, so he's gonna stay what he usually does, and he wants to play small ball. I mean, we always
Facts.
Ethan always. I think Ethan brought it up. He was like, the front office does want to play, get a little bit bigger, and Spo's just like, I run this team. This is my rotation, and so it's just like, I think he's gonna continue to stay like that. Maybe he changes, hopefully. But I don't think Kel'el Ware starts, so that would only push Bam to the 4. And I just think they still go with Jovic and Bam at the 5. So I don't think we're going to see a Bam at the 4, unfortunately. And then the same thing for Anthony Davis. I know this is a Heat channel, but he wants to play the 4, and that's his position, but he has to play the 5. So it's happening to a lot of players in this league, man, that where they want to go to the original position where they play the best, they can't because the team is just either just don't have the players or don't want to do that. You can't afford to do it. So, I don't really think Spo is going to change anything.
I hear you, man. I mean, as much as we want Kel'el to play immediately, he's not going to start immediately. And I think you're right. Like, honestly, like, what are we going to do? Like, there's no other big that can play next to Bam Adebayo in the starting lineup besides Jovic. And if Jovic is in there, then Bam is going to be the center. He's the de facto center, right? Jovic is not as strong as Bam Adebayo, is not as good of a defender. So Bam's going to be forced to be guarding those centers. But I mean, having him and Jovic in the front court does address the size that we've needed. Rebounding, I believe, improved once we had Nico in there. You have a 6'11" guy next to Bam Adebayo. At least that's going to help us with the defensive glass. Like, again, Miami Heat were 26th in the NBA in rebounding as a team last year, which is not good at all. So at least we have, I mean, I'm just hoping he starts over Haywood potentially, but I don't know. Do you guys see a world where Haywood starts just because of defensive liabilities, like having Terry, Tyler in the front, like in the backcourt? Like, what are your thoughts on Haywood?
No, I don't see that. Mr. 81 said, go trade for Allen. Jared Allen is soft. Once he said that the lights got too bright for him in the playoffs, that's a no for me. You never want anyone on your team that's scared to play. And then Go James said, Bam is good. Stretch the floor anyways. Let Hawkins and others hustle for boards. I see. Listen, that's cool and all, but that's how people get hurt. That's how people get worn down. When you have guys, point guards and shooting guards trying to get every single rebound, that's how people get hurt. We have the size now. There's no reason. There's no excuse. Bam, Jovic, Love, Ware, Bryant. Bam needs to have some type of relief minutes throughout this 82-game season.
And it seems like he'll get those from Khalil Ware at some point, because they're not going to. It doesn't seem like they're going to play next to each other. It seems like he's going to be Bam's backup for the beginning of the season. And if he comes out and plays really well off the bench, there could be a world where there's injuries, or if the Heat aren't doing that great and they want to tinker, right? Spo can be a mad scientist and come up with different lineups where he has Khalil in there with Bam, maybe throw in Haywood and have some sort of defensive minded, team out there. Like, with that means that means you can have Tyler and Terry, and it shouldn't be that big of an issue if you have Haywood, Khalil, and Bam out there. But like, the big question is, when will that be possible? Because again, Khalil's never played against a true NBA team, right? So like, playing against those, like, he's playing with the boys right now in summer league. No offense to those guys there's obviously some good players in there, but he's not playing with men. It's not that same intelligent basketball game where it's quick, people are athletic, everybody's strong, everybody's smart. It's the best players in the world. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't know. Any other topics you guys want to talk about Miami Heat wise, or do you guys want to talk about just the NBA?
Where can't start at the 5? Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's going to be ready to start game 1. I just don't see it.
He might not even be ready to start next year, like.
Well, yeah, I don't think. Yeah, exactly. But guess what? If he gives us these backup minutes, that's all we can ask for.
Yep. Shout out to Johnny. Go check out Johnny's channel. Go James Kingdom in the chat. Miami Heat fan, has a YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to his channel. Don't forget to subscribe to Martel's channel, the Miami Heat Zone podcast. He's on his path to 5,000 subs. Guy posts 1 million videos per day. Fastest Miami Heat YouTuber. Trent. Absolutely. You got Trent, president of the Tyler Hero fan club down here. You can find him at Miami Heat Network. Something happened today, Trent, that I wanted to address. Your boy got traded today. When I first saw he got traded, I did not see that news. I saw the second piece was that Russell Westbrook got traded to the Jazz. That was the first piece I missed. And he's going to be bought out. And you called it maybe a month ago or 3 weeks ago that he would go on the Denver Nuggets, and that the Denver Nuggets were going to wait for him to become available because he did opt in to his final year with the Clippers, yet they traded him. So, Trent, your idol, your boy, your favorite player, he's got a shot at a chip, possibly playing with maybe the best player in the NBA, or not, if not the second best player in the NBA with Joker. So what are your thoughts on that?
Man, I'm excited, man, because, there's this agenda that goes around that no one wants to play with Russell Westbrook, right? And this is probably like the 20th star now that has requested to play with Russ. And this is the best big in the league. This is an MVP, and this is a champion. And Jokic that requested, I want Russ on my team. So this is huge, and I think Jokic makes a lot of people look good. And so, with his passing ability and just him being so talented and the defense so always focused on him. I think it's going to be good for them. He's going to be playing that backup position. They also got more shooting over there a little bit more. KCP was a huge loss, but, having Jamal Murray by your side, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon a little bit, who's a lob threat, Michael Malone, who will bench him if he starts to struggle easily. He don't play around. I think it's just good overall. And it also helps that bench, because that bench is pretty not the greatest. I mean, you got Watson, you got Rush, you got Dario Saric, but Watson's not really a proven scorer. He brings other tangibles, but outside of that, not really too well. So I'm excited about it. I'm gonna get my Denver Nuggets jersey real soon, and I think Denver has a chance of competing for real.
That West is gonna be tough though. It's gonna be a gauntlet.
Yeah, I mean, Memphis will be back. Houston is pretty good. Golden State's always going to compete. So you got at least 11 teams that can really be in that playoffs.
I mean, yeah.
I think the Spurs can be a team to be reckoned with too.
Next year or the year after?
This year. They got Chris Paul. They got Harrison Barnes. They got Victor. Their starting lineup is pretty solid. So,
Yeah, but Chris Paul's 50, but I feel you.
Yeah, but Chris
He'll
Paul
be good for Wemby. He'll be good for Wembanyama's development for sure.
100%. 100%. So, yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people wanted Russ to Miami. I knew that wasn't happening. Miami cares about Drew Smith and players like that more than having Tyus Jones and Russ and whoever. And I think even if they could afford them, they probably still wouldn't go after them. Maybe a Tyus Jones, but I don't see them going after Russ. So that's kind of how I feel about it. Well, how you feel about it?
You think we should have went after Russ?
Bro, we have enough guards at this point. I don't think we should have brought Thomas Bryant. I think that one was the one that doesn't make sense. But then I heard they're saying that Spo's going to play him. So who knows? You know what I mean? I mean, we have Alec Burks. The Miami Heat can always maximize the older guys, which we've done in the past with Ray Allen, Shane Battier, Rashad Lewis, Birdman Anderson, Joel Anthony. So, I mean, it's a good pickup, but like I said, I think we already have too many. We have too many guards. We have Duncan, Tyler, Terry, Richardson, Drew Smith. We have a lot of guards.
Drew Smith. Yeah, but we have none of those guards can run an offense. Russ could be an actual point guard that could have ran the second unit with. Would have been interesting. I mean, it would have been the biggest, most amazing pickup, obviously, at this point in his career. He's better suited on a better team, honestly, but give him a chance to actually win a championship. But him with Jaime off the bench, Khalil Ware, Kevin Love, even Haywood, it could have been interesting. It could have been interesting.
I will say, Denver's bench compared to Miami's bench, Miami got a better bench.
Yeah, we have a pretty solid bench.
So, Denver's bench is just a lot of unknown players.
Yeah, who's
Peyton
Rush?
Martin. Huh?
Who's Rush? You said someone named Rush is on the team?
What?
Rush. You said some guy's last name was Rush on the team.
I meant to say Russ.
Ah. Never mind.
Yeah. They got Russ, they got Watson, they got Julian Strother. They got exactly.
Yep. Hey, exactly. Sarge is not a bad pickup though. I mean,
he's not a bad pickup, and so that's what they're hoping for him to be, that stretch 5. Mm-hmm. But we'll see.
Hit a couple threes here and there off the bench,
But the big thing is that Jamal Murray needs to play good. If Jamal Murray doesn't play good, none of this matters.
Facts. Joker's going to obviously dominate and be amazing, but he needs not only Murray to play good, he needs Aaron Gordon to play good. I mean, they're like a well-oiled machine when all cylinders are flowing, I guess, but they don't have KCP, so that's a big piece that they're missing. But you rely on Michael Porter and his three-point shooting. You rely on Aaron Gordon and his ability to play in the post and be that lob threat and get offensive rebounds. And then to your point, Joker needs his sidekick more than ever, and he's the second most important person on this team. He needs to be able to hit threes, make plays at the rim. Like you're right.
Yeah.
He needs to be really good because the West is freaking deep. We'll close in a second. And guys, the three of us are going to go live later on tonight in a few hours, and that live we'll do guests that can jump on stage. I'll share the link in the chat so we can have more of you guys come join. Big Tone, if you're out there, open invite, of course. Come back on. I want to hear you debate with Trent all night long. Anybody else that wants to join, come on. But I think it's going to be interesting in the West, though, Trent. It's going to be super competitive because all the teams you mentioned that are rising, and we already know the ones that are ascending. They did it last year, like the Thunder, the T-Wolves, Dallas. But then you have all these, like, legacy teams. Again, the Lakers, the Warriors. Can they compete? Or are they going to be leapfrogged by the Texas teams, the Houston Rockets, the Spurs? And, I mean, we're forgetting about the Pelicans, too. Or I was forgetting about the Pelicans. They added DeJounte Murray, right? And if they could somehow keep Brandon Ingram for this, at least for one more year, and let him walk, perhaps, because no one's going to pay him $210 million or whatever else bullshit he wants. But even the Pelicans, they were a 7th seed last year. I mean, they could be interesting with DeJounte Murray, right? So the West is deep. The West is going to be really competitive.
But having DeJounte Murray, Brandon Ingram, and Zion, I don't even know how that's going to work. None of them could really shoot
at all.
You got McCollum still.
He sucks.
Yeah, but he's fraudulent.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. Like, that Pelicans team is good on paper, but I got to see how they play. Yeah, I got to see how they play. Maybe they could prove us wrong, but we all know Zion's going to get hurt, and Brandon Ingram sucks in the playoffs. So,
and Tyler Hero, he's going to be like a CJ McCollum type career because CJ's been averaging 20 points his whole career. No All-Stars, no nothing.
Yeah, but I still rather have CJ over Tyler by a little bit, not by a lot.
They're the same player in a sense.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I hate Tyler, but CJ's worse.
Yeah, or if anything, CJ's worse. Yeah.
You think so?
What has CJ done over his career?
Yeah.
Nothing.
What has Tyler Hero done?
6 man, at least.
Well, he would have been a 6-man if he was a 6-man. He was always starting next to Damian. So.
But look, though, I got some good topics for tonight, so y'all better show up. We had a 3-hour show last night on Martel's channel. A lot of back and forth, a lot of yelling, a lot of laughing. It was good times, man. So if you guys want to watch the new First Take, pop out.
500 views too on all the streams so far that we've done.
Yeah. Well, let's go. So yeah, in the chat before we hop off, let us know what topics you want us to cover tonight. Obviously, we'll talk a little bit about Heat, and we'll start talking about other NBA topics as well. Last question, Mr. 81. Do you think the Heat are screwed? They're signing G League players or undrafteds that ain't the answer to win a championship. Anything's possible, I guess. But yeah, I mean, we're screwed in the sense that we're probably going to be a 6th seed at best next season, right? Most likely a play-in team again. So
yeah, but
what do you go ahead?
Tell Mr. 81 he has no right to talk. The Lakers literally the only players they added was Bronny and Dalton Connect, and outside of that they haven't done anything. So the Miami Heat, actually, proven fact, the Lakers haven't added an outside free agent. They're the only team out of 30 teams, whatever it is, to not add an outside free agent. We're good over here, buddy. Worry about the Lakers. Worry about that LeBron's leaving real soon, and worry about Anthony Davis staying healthy. Have a good night.
Have a good one, guys. We'll see you in a few hours.
All right, y'all boys.
You want me to send this to you, Martel?